Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Coach Timmy, and if you enjoy the content today, make sure you hit like and subscribe. It really helps me out. So today, we'll be going over what I consider to be the smartest Cash Cup performance we've ever seen. So this guy, LCF Rupa, is from the Asian region. He ended up coming third. He ended up coming third, pocketing himself some cash along the way. You see his match history here. He goes first with 6 kills, first with 2 kills, first with 1 kill, first with 3 kills, and then essentially nothing else really to speak home about. But these 4 wins here are what I want to go over. I'm not going to watch all 4 of them. I'm actually just going to watch the one. Because I think it's worth having a look and seeing that there's still innovative stuff that can be done in Fortnite. So if you like the content, guys, hit subscribe. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing to discuss is what he actually did to get 4 wins with that little kills. And like I said, I think it's the most innovative, creative use of exotics, you know, the new gold system from the season. I think it's fantastic to see someone still innovating and going out there thinking outside the box. But you'll see what he does in the next, I think it goes for about 5 or 6 minutes here, is simply completing challenges. The reason he's completing challenges is because he needs gold. And he needs gold because he wants to buy the dub shotgun. Now, why does he want to buy the dub shotgun? Let's sort of step back and have a look at the current season's meta and have a little discussion about what we have and what we don't have. What did we have last season? We had bounce pads. It's not a huge amount of movement, but it's movement nonetheless. We have movement, and therefore people are going out of their way to look for new forms of movement. And in getting gold and getting the dub shotgun, he has some form of movement. You know, you've got that sort of bounce back effect of it, like we did with the flint knock. Now, what else do we have this season? And not even this season, but in the most recent update, we got the bouncy eggs. And the bouncy eggs are essentially a gravity reduction item. You eat them, and it must reduce your gravity by like 0.5 or something. And when you combine that with a dub shotgun, what you're left with is an incredibly powerful movement item. Something that allows you to get up and stay up as long as you still have shotgun shots in your shotgun, and the bouncy egg is still effective and working. So we saw him just there use up all of that NPC's challenge. Now he's going to drive over to Burnout over here. I think that's that NPC's name, and do a bunch of challenges for him. And then Burnout supplies him with the dub shotgun. Now, I think this could be better planned for. There needs to be some thought process around where you're getting white heals from, because you will have to tank to complete 2 NPCs full sets of challenges. And there also needs to be a fuck ton of shotgun ammo around where you're looting, because what you'll see is he is forced to use it a lot on rotation here, and then after he's forced to use it on rotation, unfortunately, he actually doesn't have a huge amount left for late game. But no biggie, as you see him go through here, he actually completes so many challenges. He's got enough gold to get a rift from the guy in the what I can't even remember, Colossal Crops, the old frenzy farm. So in using that rift, he's able to get himself into a really decent position for second zone, set himself up really well for third zone, and then from there we can have a discussion about how the bouncy egg and the dub work in combination and how it's so effective this season. Okay, here we are. So let's have a look at his loadout here. So very interesting loadout. Now, I'm guessing the reason he doesn't have anything to write home about is because he expects to be able to get a refresh at some point before moving zones start as a result of his little combination. So what we're going to see here is essentially him not pull half-half and then look to rotate to half-half with this combination. Now, again, let's have a little quick discussion before he actually goes to rotate about the context again, not just for him, but for his opponents. His opponents are under the impression that we're in a no-movement meta, and for that reason, they don't necessarily feel like they need to check their heads, like they need to worry about people flying on top of them like you would in a shockwave meta, like you would in maybe a bounce pad and crash pad meta. That sort of thing is not something you have to worry about in a no movement meta. But this guy, again, the innovation behind this is unreal, and I can't give this guy enough props. So I'll skip forward a little bit here, and we can actually have a look at how this works, because it's absolutely ingenious. Now, Again, remember how the dub shotgun works. You shoot it in a certain direction, the momentum from the shot, my guess is how it works, sends you the opposite direction. So you just have to turn around and get your shot off. So he pops a bouncy egg. Again, remember, bouncy egg, gravity reduction item. So as soon as he shoots here, he gets absolutely flown up. And now look at this guy here. He doesn't feel like he has to watch his head. And unfortunately, Rooper lands directly on that dome and takes a free refresh. Now again, look at the loadout he had before now. He wasn't expecting to be getting into any long-range engagements prior to moving zones, is my guess. And he just thought, okay, I'll jump on someone at half-half, maybe on hide or whatever, and I'll take, whatever else I need from there. But the cool thing about this is that's not the only combination that that's not the only way he used this combination. He also used the dub shotgun really well outside of that combination. The dub, he proved that it actually could be a really useful item for maybe a team game mode, as we watch him do exactly the same thing to this poor unsuspecting gentleman. Unlucky. Sort yourself. Unreal. But the cool thing that I want to point out is that he doesn't actually just use the combination. He also uses the dub shotgun really well by itself. So we've got him using it here. It's still in combination. He's still got a bouncy egg popped. But I think the cool thing to point out is that he continues to use it effectively after the combination has run out, and that's because the dub shotgun can essentially be used like a bounce pad, but for a solo. So the cool thing that he does here is he uses it like we saw bounce pads being used as a height retention tool back in last season's meta. So essentially letting someone establish ahead of you, and then using the dub shotgun as essentially, like I said, a bounce pad to send himself across, hold height, and then put pressure on zone behind him. So he's already established ahead of zone, and he can keep on putting pressure down on these guys as much as he wants. Now, the cool thing again, he waits for the guys to establish ahead of him, like we saw in solos last season. Lets these guys establish, free movement, turns around and starts shooting back for some pressure and easy kills on low ground again. Now, the thing is, I don't think we'll see this tend to be very replicable, and I think that's one really important thing to note. Although he did win 4 out of his 8 games, it might be something that we may see a little bit more next week, but I just don't think it's going to be hugely effective if more than one person knows about it, of course, because challenges can be taken. And if you're going to have multiple people trying to do the same sort of challenges in the same sort of area, you're going to end up with it not being as consistent. But I think it's really cool to see someone do something different, because that's what we haven't had in competitive Fortnite in a long time, is someone try to change it up a little bit. Remember, we had that with the balloon and the flint knot little meta there for a while, where that was really effective. Different things like that you don't really see as much anymore, and that's because the loot pool has sort of been vanilled out a little bit, to be honest. But that's fine, that's good for competitive integrity, but we don't get those really cool, exciting, innovative moments like we used to. So to see something like this happen is really cool. Again, like, I can't give enough props to Rooper for this. I think, more power to him for this sort of stuff. Anyone who comes up with something innovative like this deserves, all the props in the world. And the way he goes on to win this game is even more impressive. So I'll let it play out for you guys, but like I said, the biggest thing I really wanted was just to give a shout out to this guy, display his innovation, his thought process. Smartest cash cup placement I think I've ever seen in my life. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit like. I'll let this play out because it's absolutely ridiculous, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.